Communications 101, Informative Speech. Terry Bradshaw, Michael Phelps, Justin Timberlake, Steven Spielberg. What do all these celebrities have in common? They have all been diagnosed with a common mental disorder called Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD for short. I am talking to you today about ADHD because I have a son that has this disorder, and it's been very hard for our family to come to terms and try and help him in the areas that he needs to be helped in. I'd like to discuss some of the statistics, symptoms, and treatments that I have found by doing this research, and I have also found that it's been very useful as a mom to me to help me try and help my son. Statistics show that 4.5 million children in 2006 were diagnosed with this disorder. Their ages ranged anywhere from 5 years to 17 years of age. More boys are affected with this disorder than girls are. And the specific statistics on that is that boys are 9.5% to 5.9% of girls. Doctors are not sure why this is the case. It just seems to be that there is more or less dopamine in the child's brain. Some of the signs and symptoms of an ADHD person or child with their mental conditions would be lack of concentration, not being able to pay attention to an adult or a supervisionary role. Some of the another one would be social networking, or being able to make friends and retain friends. The reason this is because some children that have the ADHD, or actually all of the children that have ADHD have an attention span that cannot keep up with other children. That makes it more difficult for them to keep the hands to themselves. And because of some of these attributes, that's why the children with ADHD have problems maintaining a friendship or relationship-wise. Some of the physical conditions of this disorder would be insomnia and inability to sit still for any length of time, such as in the classroom or during a seminar. If someone is giving a speech, to try and pay attention, their attention span is not great enough to be able to do that without interrupting the speaker or without interrupting others around them. This can get children into a lot of trouble in school. It can also play a big role in athletics. If a child plays football, for instance, I'm going to use that as an example because my son does play football. He does very well on the physical aspect of the playing field. However, when it comes to his mental understanding, he has a hard time listening to the coach or trying to follow plays versus the physical, where he can run about a mile a minute, I swear. But anyway, this raises more problems because, as has come to my attention in, I'd say, past 2 years doing this research, I have just learned that if a child is accepted into a college, let's say on an athletic scholarship, they are unable to take stimulants and play the sport that they love. And I would hate to see that deter my son from trying for his goals in life. Having said that earlier, with all of the celebrities that do have the disorder, it can be done. There are all kinds of different ways that this disorder can be treated, and what I found that's worked best for me and our family and for my son is to have him on medications. They have natural remedies as well. It's just that we've decided to make this our choice, and it has worked out really well for us. Not to say that it's been an easy road, because it hasn't. We've had my son on many different types of medications for many years, and some of them have worked and a lot of them haven't. There's also the problem where a child does grow, and that means medications have to be watched very closely to make sure that they're still working, and you're just not giving your child medication so that just for the purpose of trying to prevent symptoms. Some of the more common medicines that are out there would be Concerta is a new one, Vyvanse is a new one, and then there's the old one that is Ritalin. Ritalin used to be used extensively in children who were diagnosed with ADHD way back, and I believe it would be 1970s, to calm a child down. Unfortunately, it was in such high dosages that it made a child seem very, they weren't with it, or they couldn't do anything as far as thinking critically. As they would just kind of space out, if you will. So, like I said before, medication has been my route to choose, although there have been many natural remedies that could help with this to ease the symptoms of this disorder. That's pretty much all I have to say about ADHD and signs, symptoms. I thank you very much for listening to my informative speech today.